Well, hey there, entrepreneurs. Welcome to 30 days of the Canon M50. If you haven't already downloaded the free PDF guide on the first video, that's just about a minute long, make sure you go back to the beginning of the series, get that free PDF on the best settings for video for the Canon M50. But otherwise, let's jump into today's video. What's up, entrepreneurs? Welcome back to the Canon M50 for video series. Now, this is an update video that we're going to include in the M50 series because I'm specifically going to be talking about some things that I'm coming across with the live streaming abilities for the Canon M50. Now, I'm using the exact same setup that I would as if I was going to be actually doing a live stream, and what you'll probably see the same similar setup for future live streams. Now, I'm currently using the USB method that I've talked about, where you don't have to use the Elgato Cam Link, and there also is the Elgato Cam Link option. And I like this USB method because I can actually put this up here as long as I get it within the right range, and you can get the dual pixel autofocus abilities of the Canon M50. And you also get access to the settings, and it doesn't take a whole lot. Now, it does require an encoding software, as I covered in the video, and I will link that up in the YouTube card up above there. But I wanted to talk about specifically the Cam Link issue. Now, the Cam Link is an incredible device. I'm really glad that I have it. And even once you upgrade to other cameras, and if you decide that over time you want to get something different, this will still work for those other cameras as well. Or some people even move to some type of camcorder or something like that they want to use specifically for live streaming if they're going to be doing a lot like gaming or just, online teaching or whatever the case may be. However, I did not want to not include some recent information that I'm finding with the M50. Now, I have done live streaming for our Friday live chats where I am able to use the actual Cam Link, and we have gone over an hour before. But I'm seeing now that I'm running into where at about 30 minutes that the camera is actually going into a sleep mode. So even though the camera doesn't have any recording actually going, you're just picking up the feed that the camera is seeing. You're not actually hitting the record button. So it's not that 30-minute limit. Apparently, it's a display limit, even though you can go into the settings and you can adjust that as best that you can so that you aren't running into that issue to say, hey, don't go to sleep. The camera is still going to sleep. And that's only with this Cam Link that I'm seeing that be the case. And that's using it's not the Cam Link that's the issue. It's the HDMI portion of however Canon has that specifically set up. Hopefully someday in the future we can see some type of firmware update where you can go and update the camera's firmware, and it'll make some specific changes. We haven't seen that yet. The camera's been out for maybe close to a year now, or closer to a year than anything else. And we can hopefully see an update maybe within the next year or something like that. But if you're going to be using the Elgato Cam Link for the Canon M50, I want you guys to be aware that you are going to potentially run into a 30-minute timeout session or issue when it comes to the camera. And all that requires is that you half press the shutter button, which I can show you on my J85. You can just kind of slightly push. You just are barely tapping it down just to kind of get some motion on the camera, whether that's touching the screen or something to just wake the camera up to say, don't go to sleep. So it's not a Cam Link issue because I've done live streaming with my Panasonic J85 and using the Elgato Cam Link and my older MacBook, which according to Cam Link, they said would be an issue, but I did not have any problems. I went over an hour using the Elgato Cam Link and the Panasonic J85, and I did not run into any issues. The Canon M50 is a good camera. I still highly recommend it. It's actually on sale right now if you're watching this the week that it's published, which they're now calling it Cyber Monday week instead of, it just being a day. So that's a thing. So maybe talk about that in a few minutes. But otherwise, I just want you guys to be aware of what's going on. So if you get the Cam Link and you're running into that kind of challenge, then I would highly recommend you actually use the USB function of this. Now, you won't be able to use the Google Hangouts. That is a actual issue that you have when you use the USB. If you use the Elgato Cam Link, you're on a timer. So you need to touch the screen, touch the shutter button, press it slightly, and do that half press or something to wake the camera back up. But if you're going to be doing the USB method, then know that Google Hangouts type way, if you just went into the back office portion of the actual YouTube Creator Studio and you just try to go live that way, then your camera and the computer will not recognize each other using that system. It does require an encoding software like Ecamm Live that I'm using right now to record this. And I have found that OBS will work. So I did find another creator that is actually using OBS with the same software that's free that I've talked about before in how to use the USB on the camera to actually live stream. I'll link that up above. But, you know, once you see that video and you see how to actually connect it, I would highly recommend you go to the link down in the description for the other creator, and he'll walk you through on how to actually connect it using OBS, which is open broadcast software that is free. So 2 free systems. All you need is an old Android or an older Android cord. That's just like what we talked about in the video. You get 2 free softwares. OBS is a very powerful software, and this other one that we're using as well to stream it. And you can go without having to spend the extra money. So there will be requirements with that. Again, I'm sorry that I can't specifically walk you through what that's like using OBS because that's just not a software or program that I specifically use. And quite frankly, it just was a little bit too much over my head for what I'm trying to do when it comes to live streaming, but it has a lot of capabilities. And I have tried it out before on my PC. It does work, but it's just not something that I know I'm fully competent in to be able to teach you in it. So I'll leave that up to somebody who is. But otherwise, that's the update for that. And so even if you're using an older computer, just know that you're good if you want to use this USB method. Use OBS and you can stream with the Canon M50. So hold on to your, I almost dropped it. Hold on to your Elgato Cam Link if you are actually buying one or something like that, because this is something that is good for future cameras that have clean HDMI out, which makes sure that you get a feed like this where you're not seeing any of the camera icons on the screen, but you're able to actually continue to record and make changes and adjustments as you need to, no matter what. So that's something that's really cool and really nifty, and I wanted to share that with you guys. So also really quick, I'm not going to go into any of the deals, and as you guys saw, I didn't do any streaming or any content for Black Friday or any of those sales. If you're a part of the Entree Insiders community, then you would have gotten my PDF guide that I sent out to the community with those specific deals. If you're looking to buy something with some of the best deals, what my recommendations were, if you want that and you are subscribed to, or you will be a new subscriber to Entree Insiders, just shoot me an email and you just reply to the one that you get when you sign up, whether it's for the M50 series or whatever. So go ahead and email me back, and I can actually send that out to you, and you can see what those specific deals were. But otherwise, guys, that is everything. Like I said, the M50 is $5.99 right now on Amazon. Be wary of any of those packages where you get a lot of crap, essentially. I mean, you get extra memory cards, and they have some of those, lens extenders or, adapters and stuff like that to maybe give you a wider image, or it may say macro or something like that. Just be cautious of that stuff, because I've been sucked into it too. So I'm speaking from experience. Most of that stuff is really, really cheap stuff that if you were at the camera store, it'd be for about $1 or so, $1 or $2. It's really not expensive stuff, not to command the price that you would be asking for it, even if it's an extra $20 or $25, because the cards that they're going to give you, I looked up a lot of what they have available today is just not good quality stuff. And honestly, your money would be better spent going to actually get that specific thing that you want. Well, even the tripods and all that stuff, I've got those camera kits before. The tripods are really, 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 really plasticky, and they're just not sturdy. The Amazon Basics one, the 60-inch, that is one that I would recommend. That's very cheap for like $17 or $19 or something like that. I'm using the 50-inch right now just to sit on top of my desk to stream, and that's a great little travel one if you just need like super light point and shoots, or the M50 or something. or, you know, the 60-inch one that's a little bit sturdier, that is one I've been using for about 2 years now, and it's straight legit. So if you're going to get a cheap tripod or something like that, I would recommend one of those. Otherwise, I would stay away from some of those camera kits because they just are not giving you the value for any of the money that you would spend. Even if it's at the same price, then you can. But one thing to be concerned with is knowing that when you do not buy on Amazon, when you do not buy from the specific manufacturers, like this is an Audio-Technica ATR 2100 microphone. If I did not buy this from Audio-Technica, their actual store and authorized user on Amazon, then I would not be able to have access to the warranties and things like that. So if I needed to send it in, it would be a problem. And I ran into that with one of my microphones that I had for my camera, because I had bought it off Amazon and it was through some other seller. Even though it was brand new, I wasn't able to use the warranty because I technically didn't buy it from them or an authorized user. So if you're going to be buying stuff, you want to make sure that you get your Canon warranties and all of that good stuff. Make sure you're actually buying from Canon, and you'll be able to see that over in the corner right before you hit add to cart. Whether it's Canon M or Focus Camera or any of those other brands, make sure that you're going to get your warranties and all of that stuff beforehand, because, you know, once you actually get it and all that, then it's all said and done, you may not have access to your warranty. So that's another reason to be wary of those kits. Even though it's brand new, it's only an extra $20. That's something that nobody really talks about, and I wanted to make sure that you guys are aware. But this video has been long enough. It's just an update video. Gosh, got stuff to do. But otherwise, guys, live with passion. I'll see you guys on the next video here in the M50 series, and hopefully, praise the Lord, will be done very, very shortly. But as always, guys, live with passion. I'll see you guys later on Entre Women TV.